Electricast.
McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with one of 6 collectibles and your choice of a Big Mac or 10-piece McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Now available with a Minecraft movie meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Springfest and Ego Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select trimmer, blower, or mower kit. Plus, shop today for new and exclusive items you need for your lawn. So get ready for spring with the latest in innovation from Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Only at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
It's missing the point. It is the AFC NFC prediction show, our annual show where we do exactly what it says in the title. We predict the records of both the AFC and the NFC, and those are the 2 conferences that make up the NFL. We have a little bit of a shakeup in the personnel this year. Myself, the usual host extraordinaire of this wonderful variety show that we put on every year for our loyal fan base, I will be participating because we had to break up the Mike and Bobby Wonderkins that were 3-0. Considering it's a season-long game, my point to the rest of the guys was it was going to take half a fucking decade to catch up, if possible. So we're resetting. We had a really fun 3 years. We've been doing the podcast for 3 years. We've been doing this prediction show the entire time. It's a lot of fun. Essentially, if you haven't listened to this show before, what we do is we split off into teams of 2. The teams are going to be myself and Mr. Mike Marcangelo. We're going to be the NFC team. And Robert Kelly and Rayshawn Buchanan are going to be the AFC team. We had to split up Mike and Bob because they were just too good at this. So it's going to really come down to, am I the dead weight? Am I the person that's really going to fuck this up? Because the two stars of the show are now separated and have to play each other. It's a real Shaq and Kobe situation.
Shaq and Kobe, Tom and Bill,
Yeah, it's a we'll see who the real genius was of this whole thing. But this is my first year. So go easy on me. I usually just have to, kind of rein you guys in, rein in you chuckle fucks. But now I have to actually pretend like I know something about football. So here we are. We've shaken up the rules a little bit. So I'm just going to explain it from the top. If you've listened to this show before, great. There's going to be some changes. If you haven't, listen up because the rules, they're silly, they're fun, they're zany, and we're going to have a great time. Within 1 game is the newest rule. Last year, we had to call the records of our, respective conferences within 2 games to get 1 point. Now it's within 1 game because we're just trying to make it harder because we were just too fucking good at this, or you guys were at least. So now you get 1 point if you call a record correctly within 1 game. So if you call 13 and how many games do we play in the NFL this year? 13-5. If you call, I'm
still 17.
Stuck in the past.
13-4.
13-4. We're adding games every fucking year. If you call 13-4, and that team, then goes 14-5. No, strike that. Reverse it. If that team then goes 14-3, you get a point because you're within 1 game, and vice versa. So that's pretty straightforward. Additionally, this year, if you call a division in the correct order, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So say you call the NFC North correctly, Bears, Lions, Vikings, Packers, you get an additional 2 bonus points. So that will pile onto that. We're going to do a little thing called Call Your Lock this year, where we're going to name our 1 lock on the entire conference that we're predicting. This is the prediction show. And if we get the lock right, we get an extra point. So 2 points for that team instead of 1. Call a rival, which is we get to pick, Mike and I get to pick an AFC team to call their record and vice versa. And if we get it closer or exactly right, then we steal the points from the opposing team. And just to be clear on that, if we say, for instance, we pick the Patriots and we call the Patriots record exactly correctly at the end of the season, and you guys call the Patriots record exactly correctly at the end of the season, we get the point, you guys don't. Right? Because it's a full-blown steal. So, and the same works for you guys. So if we both get it right, the stealer wins, right? Advantage goes to the man running to the base. So additionally, we're also going to name our collective predictions for the MVP of the league, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. And depressingly, we're also going to call out who we think on any team, doesn't matter if you're the AFC team and you want to call an NFC team out for this or vice versa. How many times can I say vice versa on one show? You get to call the first coach fired. So we're gonna, we don't want to be messing with people's livelihoods, but I don't think our calls are gonna influence any sort of things there. Call it in the air. We're gonna each pick either heads or tails to figure out who wins the coin toss on the first game, just to get some points on the board, just for a little fun to start the game off. And in the playoffs, we're going to play Final Jeopardy. We're going to take all our points that we got from the regular season. This isn't something we did last year. We're going to take all our points we got from the regular season, and we're going to gamble them on games. We're going to bet against each other in the respective playoff games when we get there. So this game's a lot of fun. Some arguments happen. Friends are made. But it's all about what we learn along the way. So I think I'm going to get started. What I love to do is I love to go by the cardinal directions of the map. I'm going to start off with the AFC team just to throw it to you guys and get you involved. And we're going to go north, south, east, west for both teams. So you guys will do your AFC North predictions. We'll do our NFC North predictions. And we'll go so on down the line tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. So, gentlemen, Robert Kelly, Rayshawn Buchanan, tell me about that AFC North.
Yeah,
whenever you're ready. Just, don't mind me. Anytime now. Anytime now, gents.
Okay.
Anytime now.
I'll start.
Anytime you want to go.
Oh, no, I know.
So-
I said go ahead, Bobby, twice. I was like,
All right, so we got the bank. So personally, we actually had some difference of opinions here on the AFC North. So personally, I have Bengals 13-4, Ravens.
Oh, wait, can I
11-6.
actually interrupt you for 1 second? I'm so sorry.
go
Just
ahead.
a minor piece of housekeeping. You got this written down, or do you need me to
Yeah.
write stuff down as we go? And you'll just send it to me afterwards so I can keep it in the records. Okay, great. Thank you.
So we got Bengals 13-4, Steelers 11-6. This is Rayshawn's prediction. Steelers 11-6, Ravens 9-8, Browns 8-9. I have Bengals 13-4, Ravens 11-6, Browns 9-8, Steelers 8-9. So clearly there's some difference of opinion here with the AFC North. This is the one we differed the most on. I just want to make the argument here that I do not think the Steelers are in any position to go 11-6 this year. I have made that very clear on both shows that we've done so far about this season. Other than that, the Bengals 13-4. Rayshawn, I don't want to go out on a limb this early, but I think that's my lock of the AFC is that Bengals at 13-4. I think that I haven't been so sure about a team dominating a division in quite some time. I think they're by far the best team in that division. The rest of it, I'm okay to mess around with. I don't know about the Steelers at 11-6, but the Bengals to me at 13-4 are my lock of the entire AFC. I hate to get that out of the way that fast, but I've never been so sure about a team winning the division this early into the season.
yeah. Listen. Honestly, for me, I think it's the progression of where Kenny Pickett is going. I feel like he figured it out towards the end of last year. So, I think that's where he starts to take off. And once again, Pickens another year under the system. Deontay Johnson. They got that rookie out of UGA, Darnell Washington, who I wanted, here in New England. So, they just, to me, Mike Tomlin just finds a way. And once again, they scratched and clawed to 9-8, and it wasn't that good last year. So I just think those guys another year under their belt. 11-6. Like I said, we can split the difference and go 10-7. I'm cool with that. But
the difference, that's the D.
And then
So are you okay with going Ravens 10-7 too? So we'll make them both 10-7, and then the Browns, we can stick them at 8-9. That's fine.
yeah.
Wait,
Yep.
hold on a second. More housekeeping. Do you want me to write down what you land on? Because I know you have your separate predictions written down, but we're going to need to lock in what you actually decide on. So do you want me to?
That's why. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say it one more time. So Bengals 4.
We don't have to decide if that's actually our lock yet. We can do it at the end, but I'm pitching that early.
Bobby's
That's all
making up the fucking rules now. It was final answer a second ago, but all right. This team's a fucking shambles, Mike. We're going to take these apart.
Bobby hasn't been so sure of a team winning a division since the Cowboys last year. That's all I need to say.
And 2 years ago.
All right. Sorry. You got the Bengals at 13-4.
Yep.
Who else you got? You got decided.
So Ravens and Steelers both at 10-7.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
And then the Browns at 8-9.
Got it. Thank you. All right, Mike, do you want to talk about the NFC North? I got things. I got things.
That
in
I
this
figure I
division.
figure you should lead off the NFC North game.
Okay. No problem. We're not super far away. You had the Lions at 9-8, the Vikings at 8-9, the Bears at 9-8, and the Packers at 7-10. I had the where the fuck are mine? I had the Lions at 11-6, the Bears at 10-7. Now I did change that after I saw yours because I was a little farther away. And I didn't want to spend the entire show arguing with you. So I said that's fine. That's fine. I don't want to jinx anything, so it's cool. I had the Lions at 11-6, the Bears at 10-7, the Packers at 7-10, and the Vikings at 7-10. So we're a little far away. I think we should talk about the Vikings first. I think that my opinion on this, if I could just try to sell you for a second, is that if we all knew that Kirk Cousins wasn't the playoff guy and he wasn't going to be able to do anything substantial next season or in the postseason, I should say, they didn't know that and they were sort of like riding this regular season high. I think that the knowledge that they don't have a guy to throw the ball well enough in under the spotlight in the postseason is going to create a malaise around that Minnesota organization. I think that they know that they are the also-rans of the entire NFL. I think that the fan base knows now. I think that their expectations are low despite their roster, despite having arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL. Despite having, a really, really solid defense and a really, really solid offense overall. I think they know that Kirk Cousins isn't their guy, and I think that's going to creep in. I think they're going to win a max 7 games, especially because I think the rest of that division is going to be difficult for them to play against, more so than it was sort of spread out last year. They had 2 tough games against the Packers last year. Now I think they have 4 tough games against the Bears and the Lions. I think if we settle on the Vikings losing a little bit more in my direction, I think I would feel really good about that. And I would also be more willing to compromise going forward because I really want to say that the Vikings are only going to win 7 games.
So this is a future sell. This isn't
a future sell. I'm just putting my I'm letting you buy equity in my
goodwill. The goodwill of future persuasion.
What do you think?
Like the hardest part for me about them is I just find it hard to believe that it's going to be such a drastic fall off from last year. Mm-hmm. I say that knowing that they got rid of Dalvin Cook, who went to 4 straight Pro Bowls, and that solar powered.
You're also
Kirk
the guy that says
running
backs doesn't mean anything.
Has 5 primetime games this year, so I assume that he's going to go 1-4 or 5 minutes. So I'm willing and with me within 1 game. So I think that they're going to be 8-9. So I can go 7-10.
Okay, great. I'm glad we settled there because I wanted to go 5 wins. But I moved it around a little bit. I mean, listen, I'm being a little hopeful about this division. I swear I'll get more pragmatic as we move on through the show. The Bears, I want to give the Bears the 10 wins for obvious reasons, but I also think I can sell you on them hitting double digits this year.
Can I just ask you one question before you get through the sales pitch? Do you think in your heart of hearts that 11 wins is possible?
Yeah.
Stop. No. Take your Bears jersey off. Do you really
I'm wearing an Adidas t-shirt.
Because I think 10 wins is possible,
Why as
which
fuck.
is why I had them. I
do like that t-shirt. I was going to say that actually.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really good if I need to camouflage myself in a sporting goods store. Of course I think 11 wins is possible. Here's why. Here's my sales pitch. Justin Fields. End of sales pitch. I think that it's not really the end. I have more. 3rd year, make or break. Huge roster overhaul. We now have an offensive line. DJ Moore, woefully underserved from the quarterback position to his abilities in his entire career. Has had an amazing preseason so far, despite limited snaps protecting the starters. We have Cole Kmet, one of the best of the rest in the tight end pass catching class. Once you get, anybody that did a fantasy football draft over the last few days realizes that you either get Travis Kelce, maybe you can make an argument for Mark Andrews, and then you have literally every other fucking tight end in the NFL. So if, I'm not saying that Cole Kmet's that, but he's a good pass catcher and he's good yards after catch. I think we have an identity now. I think we have a defensive identity now. I think we put a lot of really great athletes on the defensive side. You and I had a conversation about a lot of the free agents we put on the roster. as well as a really solid draft. And I think we have a really good backfield. I think it's really pacey and explosive, and I think there's like a lot of high upside guys that we might see like actually doing stuff there. I still think that Fields is the most exciting player in the league, and I'm not going anywhere on that. And I think that if you and I, Thelma and Louise, this thing, if we hold hands off this cliff, Mike, you're gonna have so much fun cheering for the Bears this year. You're gonna be cheering for 11 wins, buddy. It's gonna be great.
Are you proposing 10 and 7?
I'm saying I'm giving you 10 and 7. I wanted 12 wins, but like here, I'll come down to 10.
Yeah. I can take 10 and 7.
Okay, great. This is going so well. The Packers. I said 7 and 10 for the Packers. You said 7 and 10 for the Packers, so I'm happy to just land there if you are.
Well, I'm changing it. I think it's going to be 8 and 9.
Okay.
And the only reason why I want to change that is because I do think that Jordan Love will do better with the young wide receivers than Aaron Rodgers did last year. So he might trust them a little bit more, throw to them often. And I don't think 9 wins is out of question, which is why I want to hedge and say 8 and 9. Because I don't think that I think they're going to win more than 7 games.
Don't you think that they potentially are looking down the barrel at 6 L's in their own division though?
The kids are still at practice, and I have no idea what's for dinner.
You can get a rotisserie chicken and 2 sides for just $15 in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Who said that? Who's in my house? Don't play with me, because I'm not the one.
It's just your friendly Walmart announcer. This is a commercial.
Oh, okay. You were saying dinner for a family was just $15?
Yep, it'll be at your door by the time you get the kids home from practice. Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Subject to availability, restrictions and fees apply.
Now that was a helpful commercial.
And I think that they'll beat the Vikings twice.
You think they'll beat the Vikings twice? We should lower the Vikings record then.
They'll probably split with the Lions.
You think? Dude, the Lions are better than you think. Well, I guess we'll get to that when we get there. But 8 and 9 for the Packers, like
he's been a representative for them, so he knows.
Yeah, I just think you're underestimating slightly the impact of a guy like Aaron Rodgers leaving your organization, and I think that the identity of the Packers of the past decade, if not more, probably 15 years. Is that how long he was there? I don't know. It was a fucking nightmare. I try not to remember.
Well, they were what, 8 and 9 last year, and he refused to throw to one of the rookies and was relying on the shell of Randall Cobb.
They were 8 and 9 last year, and they had one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, so we're saying they're still going to be 8 and 9. Think about it.
Yes.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Yes.
Whatever. I'm happy to ride with you on this. You have a great track record with calling Packers records on this show. Like you just nail the Packers every year.
Yeah, but he's gone now, so I don't need to worry about him.
All right, man. I'll give it to you. So we're saying 8 and 9 for the Packers, and then we just have the Lions left. Now, you said 9 and 8. I really genuinely can see them winning 11, 12 games. I really think they made a lot of adjustments on their roster. I think they did exactly what they needed. They're the team I'm the most scared of in that division personally. And you have to remember, like, they were top of a ton of metrics last year. Like, they had really big holes that caused them to lose really close games, but they have a good team. Now, I don't believe in their quarterback, but I believe in literally every skill position that they have. I think their wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, might be my favorite wide receiver. Like, might be the wide receiver I like watching the most. He reminds me of like a young Terrell Owens, to be honest with you. I think he's got like all those qualities. I think he's like really fucking underrated. And I got pipped to him in the fucking fantasy draft yesterday by, I think, one of you fucking cunts. So I think it's important. Do one of you guys have him, or was someone else? No, you guys are still cunts. So the important thing to remember here is their record, I think, flattered to deceive last year. I think that it was a little bit inflated in the loss column. And I think that I can see you being careful with an 11-6 record with them, but 9 and 8 I think is a little low. So if you want to meet in the middle, I'll go 10 and 7. What do you think of that?
10 and 7, yeah, because I
10 and 7.
I think 12 wins is out of the realm of possibility for me. So
yeah, they also have a decently tough schedule. But I don't want to get bogged down in the strengths of schedule conversations in these things, and we have to move on. So, okay, we'll go. Let's see. We're gonna go 10 and 7 for the Detroit Lions. We're gonna go. What did we say for the Vikings?
8 and 9.
8 and 9. So we'll keep that. What did it see? This is fucking hard because I'm talking to you and I can't fucking write shit down at the same time. Sorry.
We went 7-10 for the Vikings. We went 8-9 for the Packers. And I think we went 10-7 for the Bears.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me write that shit down. You're gonna have to give me a second.
Do you want me to keep track? That way you can keep the hosting thing going.
All right, if you want, if it's easy for you.
So, AFC South.
Yeah, you guys want to do the AFC South next? Do it.
So this is the only one that we fully agreed on. Because it was just like, to me, it's the most, it's not even a toss up. It's just we just know who's going to be leading that division. So we had Jacksonville 11-6. We have Tennessee 9-8, the Colts 5-12, and the Texans 3-14.
And so originally we thought, I thought we were locking one per division originally, and when we did that, the Texans were our lock at 3-14 in this one, just because they absolutely, to me, it's them and the Bucs are the two worst teams in the NFL, and I think that's the most lockable thing that you can put on the books for this year. The rest of this division, I mean, the only outliers for me, I think, is the Titans. I think they're a tough team to call. I think they could easily win 11 games this year, but I think it's just safer to put them at 9-8. Jags are winning this division, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, hell, you got national pundits putting Trevor Lawrence as a top 5 wide receiver quarterback duo, and they haven't even played. Kevin Ridley's fresh off the slots, gambling. This is on team.
FanDuel, bro. Those FanDuel parlays, bro. He's dropping the parlays on them.
So, you got to get back into that this year, too, but we'll talk off air about that. It's wild, but yeah, Jacksonville should be the cream of the crop of this division, and like I said, they should run away with it if everything goes right.
So you had Jaguars 11-6, Titans 9-8, Colts 7-10, Texans 3-14.
No, Colts
5-12,
and then Texans 3-14. Yeah, and once again, I'm a Gator fan and love Anthony Richardson. I thought that he was very raw, talent wise. He has an ability to be really good at some point, but obviously with they're losing Jonathan Taylor. Jim Irsay just doesn't know what he's doing as the owner, so he's very inept as an owner, in my opinion. Outside of having Peyton Manning, and he even wasted that situation. So I feel like it's going to be like a remix of the Curtis Payton years, which was crazy. So they're not going to be that good this year. So yeah, 5-12.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Anthony Richardson at Florida last year. Week 1, who did they play? They beat someone.
Utah.
Yeah, they beat Utah week 1. He showed out that game, and he's got some talent, but I don't know what's going on down there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Mike, what do you think about their AFC South prediction?
I mean, I think that this is one of the easiest divisions to predict, right? Especially the one wild card in this could be if Anthony Richardson decides and actually balls, like then he's gonna fuck it all up for you. But I mean, first year quarterbacks, and I don't know if I trust the Colts. I like Jacksonville. I think Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk. That's a really, really good wide receiving core. And yeah, but we've been saying the Texans are going to be like 1 or 2 wins ever since Deshaun was getting his massages. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans, I feel like you only gave them 3 wins because you got to be within 1, right? Like, it's like they could potentially win 1 game. So, but there's no fucking need to call that, right? Jacksonville, I mean, you guys got a decent amount of faith in them. Ray, you really believe in Trevor Lawrence, huh?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
we know he does. We know he does.
Yeah. One in there, like I was ready to get my 16 jersey with Lawrence on the back. Like
I'm glad you say that, because I would be interested in trading you for your backup quarterback on your fantasy football team, so we could talk about that off air too. Just because I know now that you really believe in Trevor Lawrence, so I think you should put your money where your mouth is. But I'm just saying. And also, if you don't want me bothering you about it every fucking week for the next 16 weeks, that's another reason. It's Justin Fields. Yes, Justin Fields is the backup quarterback for some fucking reasons. Just right out from under my nose, Ray. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. I didn't have a whole
no reason for literally no reason.
Oh no! Just brought together tonight. It was awesome.
It was my favorite part of the fantasy draft, to be honest. It was like the number one moment.
So I'm still annoyed about it. All right, you want to talk about this NFC South, this despicable NFC South division there, Michael?
What a dumb.
Yeah.
Worst division, AFC South or NFC South? What do you guys think?
I don't know.
NFC South.
It might be a tie.
NFC, yeah.
I think the floor is lower for the AFC South, but I think that the ceiling is a little bit higher for the. And I think the AFC South is worse. I think the AFC is worse because I actually am a little higher on the Falcons than you, Mike. I think we should start there.
So I was actually going to start with the Falcons and say that I had them down at 9-8. I think that they should be at 10-7. I think Arthur doesn't get enough credit for getting the most out of the talent that he actually has in the field. I mean, he made Marcus Mariota look like an actual NFL quarterback until he just left in the middle of the season. I think that offensive line is much improved. I think Drake London is a really good wide receiver. Kyle Pitts, very tight end, and they're going to have an offensive rookie of the year candidate in Bijan Robinson.
They absolutely
running
are.
back.
He's a beast.
He's a stud, man. Yeah.
So I mean, my pitch would be 10-7. I don't because I think they could win 11. There is not one bone in my body that believes that they can win 12 games.
There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible in golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
You know what, man? In the words of the great Meatloaf, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm with you. Let's go 10-7 for those fuckers. I'm high on them, honestly, for all those reasons. I believe in the modern NFL that coaching is becoming more and more important as the margins shrink at the top. We have so many good elite NFL players now. Like the college programs are getting better. The high school programs are getting better and better, like every year as we go on. I think that the only way to really see a team stand out when you don't have, I agree that they have Bijan Robinson, but when you don't have those, marketable, like superstar skill players, the only way to tell what a team's going to look like is if they have a good coach. I think that, you see examples of this across the league. I think you see more intense examples on the other end. I think you can see really good teams get really hamstrung by shitty coaches that make shitty decisions. We've talked extensively about how the Patriots should have been a lot worse over the last 5 years. You know what I mean? If they didn't have the maestro at the helm. So I agree with you. I think that that coaching staff is really impressive. I agree with you that I think that because of Marcus Mariota's performances, and I was the last guy in that fan club, so I didn't see that coming at all. Do I think they're going to win a fucking Super Bowl? No, but do I think that they can beat up on the teams in their division? Yes. That being said, moving on to the Saints, I never like to count them out too badly. I think that they're a pretty well-run organization. I think that they've been a pretty stalwart playoff team in the NFC. Obviously, Drew Brees had a lot to do with that, but they've been a stalwart playoff team in the NFC for a long time. I think that, but I mean, again, with how your franchise is run, the fact that they got Drew Brees and the circumstances in which they got Drew Brees it just goes to show that I think they kind of know what they're doing down there in Nolans. I think that their fan base is great, and I think that they're a hard place to go play no matter what their team looks like. So I had them at 9-8, and It looks like you had them at where the fuck
9-8.
9-8. So I think we can settle on 9-8. I could see them getting 10 wins in a kind of a 8-9 actually feels, to be honest, as I'm talking, 8-9 feels like a little bit more of a safe bet. Because I'm doing that thing in my head where you it's like, well, could they get 10? And I don't know if I see the Saints getting double-digit wins this year.
Do you think that they could get 7?
Yeah, I think 9 might be their ceiling, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I just look at it this way. I think Derek Carr is a step up from Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. I think that he's that they probably have the best defense in that division. They probably have the toughest place to play in that division. And if Michael Thomas does decide to play football this year, it will just be, gravy. And so that's why I was a lot.
I feel like there's a lot of wild cards there. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I feel like I could see them winning 5 games. You know what I mean? Like I do think that they're a well-run organization. I don't love to count them out, but 10 wins for the Saints this year. It doesn't compute.
It's Dennis Allen, not Sean Payton, too, as the head coach.
Right.
Well, yeah, but they're 16 and 18 over the last 2 years. So I mean, they're close. They're hanging in there, and I do like.
They're under 500. They're under 500, and you're saying they're going to be like 3 games over it. I just don't know.
Well, no, I said 9 and 8.
Oh, right.
We both agreed.
I was thinking that 10-win ceiling. It's that 10-win ceiling. I just don't see it. I think we should cushion ourselves. I really think we should cushion ourselves at that. We get the 9, we get the 8, and we get the 7. But fine.
All right, so
it's fine.
So,
This is the goodwill that we that you racked up with me earlier with the Minnesota Vikings. So we can go with the New Orleans Saints at 9 and 8. That makes sense. It's not crazy,
right.
you guys. It's not insane. They do have a bunch of shitty teams to play, like the Carolina Panthers. They're in a full fucking rebuild. In fact, I had them at 7 and 10. And I think that should be lower. I think we should put them at 5 wins.
No.
Who do they have?
I think Bryce Young is actually going to be a good quarterback. They got Adam Thielen as their number one, who was a pretty
Adam
good.
Thielen's like
pretty good receiver.
9,000 years old in wide receiver years.
Isn't he 29?
Yeah, that's what I just said. He's like 9,000 years old in wide receiver years. Do you know how many fucking targets he used to get in Minnesota, dude? I've seen that guy take hits that like he's 29. He's going to be in a nursing home next year.
But also, like Frank Reich, that new head coach, was able to get like 10 wins out of Jacoby Brissett, 10 wins out of Phillip Rivers, 10 wins out of who the hell was their quarterback?
In garbage time, like the wins that the Panthers.
But in Indianapolis, I mean, so I think.
Garbage time in the season.
Matt
Garbage time in the season. You know, I mean, it's like he was winning games that didn't matter. I think that like, I don't know, man. I feel like we're giving.
How about 6 and 11?
Here's the reason why I'm saying we should lower it is because I think we're forgetting. Now, I'm not saying the Buccaneers are going to be a fucking world-beating team, but I think we're forgetting that the Buccaneers have a lot of good skill players still. Like, they have a lot of decent fucking players on their team. I know that Tom Brady's gone. I know it's a mess. I know that they mortgaged their future for a Super Bowl, which I don't really have a huge problem with, to be honest with you. I think a ring's a ring. But I don't see the Panthers finishing above them. I just don't see it. It's just not crystallizing in my head. This is why this division's hard to talk about, because it's not who's good and who's bad. It's who's bad and who's worse. And it's like, it's like, both of those teams are just fucking bad. You know, like, I think both the Panthers and the Buccaneers have potential to be really, really bad. Like, I think if you take out the Cardinals, I think both of those teams have the potential to be one of the 2 worst teams in the NFC. And it really depends on what the Buccaneers can put together with the players that they have, because I think that they could still exploit some positions, but the fucking Panthers don't have anybody. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I did name who they had, and you disqualified them based off.
Those names don't mean anything. Like, that's like
Miles Sanders now. Miles Sanders.
Yeah, you were big on him last year, right? I think Adam Thielen can be the 3rd best wide receiver on a good team.
He would be a Patriots number 1 wide receiver, but wrong division.
Yeah, so I don't think that changes what I just said at all.
I had them at 7 and 10. You think that they're 5 and 12? Can we just say 6?
7 on 6, and in that sense, I think we could probably keep the Bucs at 6 then too. So we're within 1 on both. So if we say 6 and 11 for the Panthers and 6 and 11 for the Bucs, I know that doesn't make sense mathematically for their divisions, but I think that within the rules of the game, then you're kind of spreading out it's like you're putting your chips on different colors, right? So
yeah, I'm
okay with that. I just want it on record that I think both those teams fucking suck. So I've gotten that off my chest now, so we're good. They're like, what? But they have Bryce Young. It's like, come on, dude.
I tried.
I mean, yeah, I know, but you're hinging your argument on Bryce fucking Young. It's like, what's going to be different?
It's a tough argument. It's a tough argument.
What's going to be different? Like, what's going to happen? Did he swap brains and bodies with someone?
It's the same thing with CJ Stroud down in Houston. It's about to become the Caleb Williams, sweepstakes.
Yeah,
like that's what's about to become. So, if either of those guys don't produce, like, Caleb Williams will be the first guy off the board next year. So from USC, that's true.
It's true. I think I think that, I mean, I said this when the Bears got the number 1 pick this year. I was like, trade it, like trade it immediately. And that's what happened. So, and we turned it into a lot of good things. So I think that, I mean, I don't know. He just has flop written all over him to me, but we'll see. What was I going to say? And I don't mean to shit on the Panthers. I really appreciate that fucking sweet package that they gave the Bears. It was way more than that pick was worth, especially when they used it to draft Bryce Young. So, moving on. Let's go East. You guys want to do your AFC East predictions?
Yeah. Ray, you want to lead this one off, man?
Yep. So of course we had the most discourse on this one. Obviously, I wonder why. So yeah. So Bills 13-4. Bobby had Dolphins 11-6. Jets 9-8, and then the Patriots 7-10. I had New England at 9-8 on mine. And once again, I think 9-8 is the ceiling, which is why I said that. Once again, just there is a million things that we have to go right for them to even touch double digits. So once again, we're not, no one's crazy enough to say that at this time. Once again, we have to play the games. But for this game here, like I said, 9-8 to me is their ceiling. Bobby said 7-10. To me, I want to split the difference and have them 8-9, which is the record they had last year. I think they have a little bit better talent this year than did last year. So it's possible they can have a winning record, but once again, there's so many things that have to break right for them to have a winning record. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went 8-9 again. So Bobby, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean 8-9 seems safe because, like you said, I mean their absolute ceiling is 10 wins. There's no goddamn way in the world that this team wins 11 games. It's just not happening in this division, especially with the addition of Aaron Rodgers in there. Like that, you figure a successful division run for the Patriots is 3-3, right? If they go 3-3 in the division, it is beyond a success for what you can expect for the team this upcoming season. On top of that, their schedule is probably one of the top 5 or 6 toughest schedules in the league. We've talked about that so many times on this show. So I honestly do think 7-10 is way more realistic, but I'm definitely willing to go to 8-9 because I think it gives us that cushion, like you said. So 8-9 is fine with me. That's fine.
So I'll say it one more time, Mike, so we didn't get that down. So 13-4, 11-6. 9-8, and then 8-9.
So the Jets
no
9-8.
faith in that Patriots defense, huh, fellas?
Yeah,
they could be world beaters.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, the defense definitely is going to be the leader of the pack. That's for sure. It's just, are they going to continue to score? That's the thing. The defense.
So
I think
you have an offensive coordinator now, though. You didn't have one of those.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's like the offensive coordinator fixes some things, but we talked about earlier in the show about scheme, which it's more about getting guys schemed open and not necessarily running great routes like people had to before. But you still have to execute. So you have all the plays in the book. I equate it to basketball. You get $1 million moves with a 10-set jump shot. Like you don't want to have great footwork or great plays being made, but guys can't get open. Guys don't know where to be on the field. So we have to make sure that that's actually a thing. And who knows? Even just the concept of blocking. Can you fucking block for Mac Jones, whatever the fuck the quarterback's going to be, so they only have one on the roster?
Well, then you know who it's going to be.
Yeah.
You really narrowed it down. I guess my question about the Pats is, are they facing a personnel issue on offense or like an identity issue on offense? Like I feel like because I feel like Belichick used to be able to take an offensive team that had guys on it that look like this type of offense. Yeah. Albeit with Tom Brady behind the center, but
facts.
He would be able to take a team that looked like this type of offense, looked exactly like this type of offense personnel wise, and put points on the board. And I just feel like that seems to have gone away. And I'm just wondering, is it a cultural issue or?
No, it's not a personnel thing. I know people say, I mean, obviously the offensive line is something where,
the wide receivers.
That's the biggest area. Well, no, but I mean, listen, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kendrick Bourne.
But that's my point, though. And like, I feel like Juju's the kind of wide receiver I wouldn't normally associate with a Bill Belichick led offense, and I feel like it's like, are they going for a different identity this year? Like they might surprise us in that sense.
I mean, maybe. I mean, they've run a lot of RPOs in the preseason, so I think that's going to be a staple.
Yeah, but then they cut the quarterback who ran those RPOs. So like,
no, but I mean, they're gonna. I mean, obviously, I think when they
Mac Jones ain't running an RPO, so I can tell you that.
No, I mean, I don't expect him to break off like that. That's not happening. But I'm saying like they're gonna run that, because they did run play action at all. Like that wasn't a thing last year for whatever reason. They just did not run play action. They did a lot the year before. But that's based off whatever Stevenson and Zeke are gonna do in the offense. So no, I wouldn't say it's personnel. I just think it's more so the identity right now. Like, what exactly do you want to do? They can no longer be the chameleon offense where they would change their game plans from week to week. They literally have to say, okay, at this point here, we're a run first team like they did in 2020. They said, look, we're just gonna run it down your throats, and they were a top 5 run offense. So they have more offensive talent this year than they did in 2020. Obviously, so.
I gotta say Zeke looks skinny too. You got skinny Zeke. It's not fat Zeke like the Cowboys had the past years. It's skinny Zeke, so that's good. That's good.
We'll talk about that more throughout the year, but it's just like guys just need to produce. So it's like we could talk about coaching out in the schedule.
I think Belichick did the classic.
But
he did the classic Belichick thing, right? He was like, just get me some guys and I'll paint with them. You know what I mean? Like, give me some colors, I'll paint with them. Like, I think year 3 obviously make a break for Mac Jones, right? Like, this is going to be the year that everyone fucking either buys all in or turns on him, right? And
they've already turned on him, but
sure. But I mean, I don't mean like reactionary Twitter Patriots fans.
I think
like,
this is
like the world's going to see.
This is for Bill too, right? I mean,
he's got a lot of credit built up. I don't know if he's there, but he's won a lot of Super Bowls.
he's getting 19 more wins. Okay, Bob Kraft will not be the guy that let the greatest quarterback of all time go and the greatest coach of all time.
And the greatest coach. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, touche.
He's got too much credit built up. And like I said, if you just let him see out the rest of his career on his own terms, you might get the day off work on the anniversary of his death day. But I don't know. Like, I just feel like what I would love to see, and like I watched a large amount of Patriots games, not every single one last season, but what I would love to see is just a little bit more like confidence in Mac Jones. Like, I feel like they're trying to scheme. I feel like they're trying to scheme around him all the time, and they're trying to like paper over cracks or something. But like, fuck it, like run the Patriots offense and like let's see if he can do it. Like,
I still
third down and 4, empty backfield. Like Mac Jones. Like, let's see. And I just don't
protect him. They can't protect him.
And I wish they got him a guy. I think that there's nothing that shows more confidence in your quarterback than going to get him a stud wide receiver. And and paying good money to do it because it'll take your offense to the next level, and they just didn't do that.
Which is weird. They could have. They could have. Like,
they could have. 100%.
He was right there. So I just don't understand that move.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they choose the things that they should do. They choose not to do. But what I will say, we can move on because I don't want to turn this into this. But we saw his rookie year. Like we just because it was so bad last year, we completely forget about 2021. Like that never happened. And it's like, the man threw 22 touchdowns, 10 picks. Like that's not awful. So it's like
a super solid rookie year. I mean, that's he was a Pro Bowl quarterback technically.
Right, exactly. But even
he was. Why are you laughing at me? He fucking was in the Pro Bowl.
No, because I get it.
Like Jared Goff was
the participation thing, he got in it because I get it. Fine, whatever. It's on his resume, whatever. But last year we've seen it. Granted, it was spread out. The game that he got hurt, the Baltimore game. That was looking like his signature game.
Yeah, you posted that the other day. I saw that.
And the game against Minnesota last year on Thanksgiving, he was ripping them to shreds. And I was like, this is what it should look like. He's not gonna get 32 every week, but if you can get around 250 to 280 every week for him, like you're in business. So he's somewhere in between that, in my opinion, and just make enough plays where you give your team a chance. Because once again, if you keep the guys off the field, you get those guys some rest, you should have a shot. But like I said, it has to happen consistently, not just every 5 or 6 weeks.
I agree we should move on because it shouldn't be the Patriots show. I just want to say one more thing about the AFC East. I think you guys are in a good spot to call this division order correctly because you're going Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Pats, right? And I think the one wild card for you here is I do have this theory about the Dolphins that I think that Tua might have slept with someone's wife in the organization because they are not going to protect that man's brain from injury this year. Have you seen their offensive line in the preseason?
It's so bad. It's so soft.
It's like a paper mache offensive line. So you have the most high profile concussion situation in the entire league happened to you, right? Like the most high profile talked about magnifying glass concussion situation on your team. You make a egregious error by putting him in harm's way when you shouldn't have and getting him fucking hurt again, right? And then it's like, okay, we're all done here. And then when you go back into the season, you just don't address it at all. In fact, you make your offensive line worse. And I don't know what he did, but I'm so, I don't even know if I want to watch Dolphins games. I'm so worried about that man's health. Like I really am. So yeah, I agree with you on paper. If all goes according to plan, like if he's a normal quarterback that doesn't have like severe concussion issues and like his doctor's probably begging him to retire, I think that even with that offensive line, I think that the skill positions and the talent that they have and the coaching that they have, I think they could definitely go 10, 11, 12. What's that?
Yeah, could we actually, so I was actually going to say, so the gap between the Jets and the Dolphins, I think we should shrink that and honestly make that mirror each other. I think
picks are locked in, bro. Your picks are locked in, dude. It's too late.
I don't think they're
Mike already typed it out. Yep. It's right here in front of me. It's typed out. He pressed enter.
By the way, and Ray said, and I quote, just so you get it one more time, Mike.
Yeah, too late, Bobby. Too late. I mean, honestly, what are we supposed to do? We can't change the rules for you. I mean, we're going to be halfway through the season. You're going to be like, can I change the Dolphins record? It's just, it doesn't work like that. We need to keep the integrity of the game going, man. I'm sorry.
You know what? That's fine.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. Look at his face.
NFC East time.
Oh my!
He's wishing death upon me.
Can we use our steal already?
No. Yeah.
No, go ahead and do your NFC.
Philadelphia Eagles. You have the Eagles at 12-5.
12-5.
I think that I have them at 13-4. I could see them only losing 3 games, but I think that I think that I have the Eagles at 13-4 because I think that's what their record's going to be. You have them at 12-5 because you're hedging, and I think I want.
Well,
go ahead.
I have them at that because they get 2 new coordinators, 6 new starters on offense, and the toughest schedule by winning percentage in the league.
But I think they're better than they were last year, and they went to the Super Bowl.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Last year, I think they improved their team.
Hey there, travelers. Kaylee Cuoco here. Sorry to interrupt your music, great artist BT Dubs, but wouldn't you rather be there to hear it live? With Priceline, you can get out of your dreams and into your dream concert. They've got millions of travel deals to get you to that festival, gig, rave, soundbath, or sonic experience you've been dreaming of. Download the Priceline app today, and you can save up to 60% off hotels and up to 50% off flights. So don't just dream about that trip. Book it with Priceline.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
What were they? Were they 15-2 last year? You think they're better than 15-2?
I don't know what their record's going to be. I'm with you on the record, and I know the changes, and I know the strength of schedule. I'm saying that, like, on paper, their roster looks better. Like, their strength of schedule is very different, and there's also a huge target on their back for, you know, the fact that they were essentially the best team last year, right? Like, I know that they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but they were essentially on paper in the regular season the best team, statistically across the board the best team. And I just think their roster has improved. You know, I still have my doubts about Jalen Hurts as the guy. I think he's super talented, but I think we saw some things exploited last season. But I do think overall, I think they made some really good roster additions, like Swift, for instance. But like, I think that's just like, they're so fucking stacked, you know, in those areas. And I just think it's like, it's going to be a little scary. But
so you think it's more likely that they win 14 games as opposed to 11?
No. What I was about to say was I think you're hedging, and I think it's smart. I think 12-5 is a good hedge. I think I would be surprised if they only won 11 games. But what I could see happening because of the new coaching staff, because of the new stuff that's come in, and because of the big fucking target on their back, I could see them getting off to a rough start. Right? I could see them getting off to a rough start, and then I could see them kind of dialing it back in.
They're already 1-0. playing the Pats week 1. They already want to know.
But that's the thing. I mean, that's it. If you guys say that because like that's your team and you're like invested in this stuff, like that's a banana skin game. Like nobody wants to play the Pats for week 1. You have no fucking idea what they're going to do. You don't know how much tape that they've recorded on your defense, probably. And the you just don't. Sorry, it's not nice. It's not nice. It's not
Well,
nice.
it's a coping mechanism every now and then. We're gonna lose every game.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. But the thing is, when you look at it from the perspective of like all of us who have had to watch Bill Belichick, coach football games for the last our whole lives, the fact of the matter is, you don't want to be playing the Pats week 1. That's not your ideal week 1 game. It just isn't, especially coming off a Super Bowl loss. And the other thing I'll say to you, Mike, is I could see them only winning 10 or 11 games because the Super Bowl hangover is a fucking real thing.
We say it every year.
The losing team in the Super Bowl, it happens to everybody, and except those really, really, really elite teams that say fuck that and come back and do it again. I think that like in my head on paper, I think that there's something to be said for those like new coordinators and the sort of the fresh additions on the roster to try to curb that and eliminate that a little bit. And I think they are doing the right thing. So I don't think it's going to be a full blown hangover, but those first 6 games, like they all look potentially like slip ups. So I think it's a smart call, 12-5, unless we're going to go crazy and say they are going to have a full blown Super Bowl hangover and call it, 9-8.
No.
I think that's going to be too long of an argument that we can have tonight. But I'm down. If you want to go fucking crazy.
I'm not doing that.
I'm always down to roll the dice, but yeah, I think
I'm down to have a 9-8 Eagles argument. That sounds fun.
Yeah, do your steal. That'd be a great steal. To be like, fuck it, let's try and steal the Eagles. Okay. So yeah, let's go 12-5 for the Eagles. Let's talk about Robert Kelly's Dallas Cowboys. That's low, bro. 9-8 is low. That's fucking low. They've got the best defense in the NFL, bro.
They do. They sure do. They're the best.
Bobby, for the record, I put this is our biggest, like most far away record. I said 12-5. Mike said 9-8, and I honestly think he's just doing it to be a fucking asshole to you. I really
no.
Yeah, that's
no.
insulting.
All right, I think they have the best defense in the
They're
NFL.
better than they were last year by far. They're better.
Bobby, you said they had the best skill position in the league last year. How wrong were you? So like,
you're never going to live that one down, buddy.
Ever. The big thing for me is Mike McCarthy is the offensive play caller for the first time in 6 years. The last time he was a play caller for the Packers with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Oh, I wouldn't go that fucking far. Jesus Christ. Pump the fucking brakes on that one. He got 1 Super Bowl ring. He can go fuck himself. One of the greatest of all time. Get out of here.
They went 7-9. So I think he's a terrible play caller. I think that they got better on the field, Bobby, but I think their coaching got worse on offense. And I think that the owner Jerry Jones is already playing fucking mind games with Dak by bringing in Trey Lance.
So fucking stupid. Didn't
even consult with the coach or with the quarterback, and the quarterback again has a bit of the Cousins. I think that it's more likely that they win 10 games. I just don't think that they're going to win 11. I don't. They have the second hardest schedule in the league, aside from the Eagles, and I think the Eagles are stacked.
Yeah, listen. Here's the thing. Mike McCarthy. I mean, all your points are salient and well explained, and you are always eloquent despite the bullshit coming out of your mouth. But you are always eloquent and well spoken. But Mike McCarthy, like I love how you cherry pick stuff. Like Mike McCarthy, the last time he was a play caller, where like the Packers went with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Sure,
say the same just to enhance your argument. Like you're so shameless.
The same guy that he's been shitting his life on for the last 5 years.
Here's the thing.
Sure.
The reason that play calling thing happened in Green Bay is because Aaron Rodgers decided before that season he was going to throw a hissy fit and get Mike McCarthy thrown out of that organization. I think that's a well-known fact, right? Secondly, it's not that I think Mike McCarthy is like a great coach, but I think a new play caller was exactly what that team needed. And I think I'd like to believe that Mike McCarthy sees and hopefully can convince his guy what it's going to take to win games for this currently constituted Dallas Cowboys team, which is don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over on offense, right? Hold the ball on offense. Time of possession. This is how I would do it. And, for what it's worth, Mike, if you're listening, not you, Mike, McCarthy. Time of possession. I think that defense is so good. I think it's one of the best defenses we've seen in the last decade. I think they're going to be an incredibly fun watch. I think that there's a weight of the jersey issue with the Dallas Cowboys where, they have this sort of franchise look that we all revel in, sort of enjoying over the course of the season, especially since we have Bobby here to actually embody the pain. And that does make me happy. Don't get me wrong. But the fact of the matter is, if you ask me, what do the Dallas Cowboys need to have a successful regular season, which is what we're talking about here, the first thing I would have said to you is a new play caller. Would have been the first thing out of my mouth. I would have said a couple of roster improvements on the depth in the defensive side of the ball, which they did, and get rid of Zeke. Those would have been the three things I said that you would have needed to make a decent run at a regular season record of what I call 12-5, right? They did all three of those things. So for me, how many games did they win last year? 13?
11.
11?
Right? 11.
Right. So they didn't get worse, right? They didn't get worse. And what you're saying is that Mike McCarthy, head coach in the NFL, is so inept at calling plays.
What I'm saying is that the Eagles and the Giants got better.
That's not what
I don't think that the Giants got better. I don't think that the Giants got better.
They got way better. Way better.
I don't know. I think they're going to fall off. Listen, I'll make you a deal. I called the Cowboys at 12-5. You called the Cowboys at 9-8. All right, I'll give you 10-7. I'll give you 10-7 on them. I'll take it. I'll take it. Man, I'm sorry, Bob. I really think he did this just to fuck with you.
Can we steal Ray? You want to steal that?
Well, it's not really a steal. You just get to also make a record prediction for this division if you want, and if you're right, then you get the points.
The whole division or just the Cowboys?
No, you get to just one team for the whole conference. So you get to pick one team in our conference that you get to make a division selection for.
You want to hold it and discuss at the end?
Yeah, let's wait.
All right, we'll hold it.
I think you're high on the Giants.
They won a playoff game last year. and
they're in a division with the best team in the NFL. I don't know, man.
Yeah, so are the Cowboys. You just trying to
but they're really good. They're really good. I don't think the Giants are good.
The Giants won the playoff game last year. The Cowboys didn't.
What was the record? What was the record going into the fucking playoffs?
They did.
Didn't they get into the playoffs with a losing record?
No, I think they were 9-8.
All right.
Yeah, they were 9-8.
Fuck it, 9-8 again. I'm not. I don't think that they're going to win.
No, the Giants were 10-7 last year.
All right, so I thought then I'm saying that the rest of the division got better, and they're 9-8. I still think 10-7 is possible.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know. Cowboys week 1, 49ers week 3, Seahawks, Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Cowboys again. I don't know, man. Philadelphia Eagles 16-18. Their last 3 games are tough. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really feel like I think they're gonna win 8 games. Can we just give them 8 and then you have your 9?
Oh,
you have your 9 wins.
Because I don't think they're gonna win 7.
Okay, let's just do this really quick. And I'm sorry for the other team. I have their schedule pulled up in front of me. I just want you to say win or loss as I go through it. Okay. And if we can get to your 10 wins, we'll say 10 wins. All right.
I have 9. I said 9.
Fine. 9. I thought so. Someone said 10 just now.
I said they won 10 last year.
They went 10 last year, but don't you think they got better this year, Mike? I thought you said they got better. All right. Doesn't matter. Dallas.
Win.
Sweet Jesus. This is already a farce. This whole fucking exercise is already a farce.
No, the Cowboys historically do not start the season well. That's why Bobby goes into a panic in September.
Fine. Cardinals.
Win.
2-0. 49ers.
Loss.
2-1. Seahawks.
Win. Well, where is it?
In New York.
Win.
Yeah, win.
Dolphins.
It's 2. I'll say loss.
3-2. Bills.
Loss.
3-3. Commanders win. 4-3. Jets.
Win.
I thought he was the greatest quarterback of all time a second ago. All right, whatever.
No. You said that. I didn't. I quoted you.
You said one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
To quote you.
I didn't say that.
You said it 55 minutes ago when I was talking about the Packers.
No, well, I was probably just trying to help my argument. Okay, so fine, 5-4. Or 5-3? 5-3. Raiders.
Win.
6-3. Cowboys. In
Loss.
Dallas. 6-4. In Washington with the Commanders. All right,
Win.
7-4. New England at home.
Win.
8-4. Bye week. Packers.
Jesus. Loss.
Wow. I don't understand football. What's happening right now? 9-5.
They beat Green Bay though. They don't lose to them. So
no, I don't think so either. But whatever.
No, it don't matter who's been out.
It washes out because I think they win the first game. Saints in New Orleans.
Loss.
9-6. In Philadelphia with the Eagles.
Loss.
9-7. And then the Eagles, and then the Rams and the Eagles again. I think I miscounted. All right, well, we got you your 9 wins, whatever. All right, fine. 9-8.
9-8. Perfect. Now, I like the Commanders. Well, I like the Commanders in the sense that they have Ron Rivera. I think he's a really, really, really good coach.
You know, they play the Eagles week 18, and I think the Eagles might be resting their starters by that point. So that could be a win.
You know, some teams have to be bad, though, right? There has to be some bad teams.
I know that's why I always laugh. I'm like, every it's not going to go according to plan. And
someone's got to be bad.
Someone's got to suck.
We have the Commanders at 6-11, but are willing to go 5-12. DK.
Is that the next team? Is that the last team?
Yep, it's last team.
You had 6-11. I had 5-12. Yeah,
I want to go 5-12.
5-12. Yeah. I could see him winning 4 games, but I don't know if I could see him winning 6, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's fine. They're definitely not winning 7. They're definitely not winning 7 games. So
yep,
that's fine. 5-12. At least we're agreed there.
I also think that we should lock in this division for us.
Well, it's just a team. It's one team's record locked.
We should lock in Philly.
Okay.
We can lock in. Oh no, that just happens automatically. The order part, right?
Yeah. Your order's your order. I don't know if I want to lock in Philly, man. We had that whole Super Bowl conversation hangover. Super Bowl hangover conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, we weren't really sure on the
I'm
NFC
not sure
North.
of any of this. Okay, this is my first time.
The NFC. Then that's also not true. You were on Bobby and my team the first year. Remember you said I'm dropping my secret the house stick, right on Bobby.
Oh my god,
for the Lions.
That's true.
I don't remember this. I can't remember what I have for breakfast, but that's fine. I'm not good at this. Okay. All right. I think we should hold off on the lock. Let's talk about our locks at the end, but we'll put a pin in the Eagles if that's cool with you.
Perfect.
Okay. Jesus Christ. The who's up next? The AFC West?
Are we on the West already? All right,
yeah,
nice.
That's your last division.
Yeah.
Right?
Go ahead, Bobby.
Okay. All right. So this one, we were pretty on point here, except for one we were a little off on. But so I'll just start with mine. So I have Broncos 6-11. What?
I want DK to guess which one that we were off on.
Yeah. Broncos 6-11, Raiders 6-11, Chargers 10-7, Chiefs 15-2. I just think this division, last year I got cute with this division.
Is it the Broncos? Does Ray think the Broncos are going to win a lot more games?
Yes, he does.
Because he's still really high on Russell Wilson for some reason.
He loves Russell Wilson.
I got it, right? Did I get it?
I got to go down with the ship, man. Like,
no, of course. Oh my god, I wouldn't. I gotta go. Anything else?
Let's ride. Let's
ride. Broncos
country.
Let's
ride.
Yeah,
it'll never die.
I got Denver winning 8 games though, like 8 and 9.
But yeah, I mean, so I do want to talk about the division too, because I think this Ray, I think this and the Bengals is our 2 locks, because the Bengals and the Chiefs are the 2 best teams in the AFC, and I don't think there's anyone really close to them. The Bills are there, but Burrow and Mahomes are so much more superior to Allen at this point, and I think they've both proven that. We talked about that at length in the power ranking show. We think those 2 are just above Allen when it comes to everything they've proven so far. But the rest of the division, I just think, everyone likes to get cute every year and like not pick the Chiefs to be the best team and like think that someone's going to come unseat them. Bro, it just
You
feels
should
like
have a
that's
fucking
that.
sign above your head with an arrow pointing at you.
It was just
Everyone.
It was just
Isn't it?
you.
Not this year. Not this year. I've learned my lesson personally, and the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL until someone shows me differently. It's yeah, Chiefs the best team.
Cool.
But Ray, I want you to make your Broncos argument here because I just don't see it, man. I know
No,
Peyton.
I would say like
Russ is so washed, man. He's so
no,
washed.
listen. Like me and DK got into one of our biggest arguments over that. Like in the show, like for the first one was like over like Giannis. Like I think, it was KD a few years ago. That was a great one. But yeah, I was on the hype train big time. But I just think who was their coach last year? Nathaniel Hackett, whatever his name was.
Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just like, yo, Sean Payton, you got something to prove. You came in talking crazy about the previous regime, so you better come in there and coach your ass off. So I'm thinking just for that alone.
Hold on a second. Where was the lie?
No,
Where was the lie?
He didn't lie, but I'm saying
He didn't say a fucking word of anything that was not true about that previous
sure.
regime.
But when you come in talking that crazy, you better come in, with doing a hell of a job. So
He comes in dropping dong anyway, so
He's also, I mean, here's the Sean Payton tried and true method. He's going to come in and he's going to make sure that those defensive players are fired up to get their bonuses to hurt the other opposition players. So
is Greg Williams a secret advisor in the background?
Here's the plan, guys. We're going to target
got
offensive players, but do me a favor, don't talk about it on tape this time.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. Yeah.
All right. That's why I got the 8 wins, because I'm like, they're going to come in.
Sean Payton's a fucking savage, dude. He's a fucking savage. I could see it. I honestly could see it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. So yeah,
I'll give you 7. I'll give you 7. I'll give you 7.
7 and 10.
I can go with 7 and 10. I don't think I can go higher than that because I don't see them being above 500. I don't see it, man.
Yeah, listen. This is all about my personal agenda at this moment. But yeah, fine. We can go with 7 to 10. I'm fine with that. But I'd be totally happy to lose this one because I like my personal agenda. But like, yeah,
the only other one is Chargers. Could you see them going to 11 or 12? Could you see 12 as the ceiling? I think I can.
No, I think they lose both. I think they lose twice to Kansas City.
Okay, so we'll keep them at 10 and 7 just to keep it safe.
Yeah.
Keep that alive. Okay.
Raiders.
Brandon
Brandon Staley's still their coach, right? The Chargers. Yeah, they're fucked.
well, exactly. So it's funny. You said I think everyone who is listening probably had this thought. You said earlier that teams with talent, whose coaches make the bad decisions that bring.
That's
them
what
down.
I was thinking of. That's literally who I was thinking about.
Every single person who's ever listened to this podcast will think of Brandon Staley.
But you know what's crazy though? He's not even their biggest hurdle, and that's wild to say. But
who is?
It is the December football and injuries. That's their biggest hurdle. There is no one that plays better from September to November than the Chargers. I don't care who's been there. Flutie, Rivers, whoever. They play really well from September to November. December comes and they forget what the hell's going on.
That's coaching.
Yeah. That's coaching. Yeah.
I'm still a full on believer in Herbert. I think he still has the potential.
He's a beast. Oh, yeah.
I think he still has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback in this league. I really do. But
you got the back down too. So
yeah, and I think he's got the brains. I think he's got the arm. I just think he needs the fucking coach, to be honest with you. So fair enough. The one thing I'll also say about your Broncos prediction, guys, is like all that being said with the Sean Payton stuff, there are 2 contradicting ideas. One is it wasn't that Russell looked like washed necessarily. He just looked like he didn't give a fuck. Like he just looked like he didn't care, like to be there. And I think that could be solved by Sean Payton. Like I think he could come in and be like, "Yo, you see what I fucking did with Drew Brees for like this amount of years? That was all me. Drew sucked. I made him great." Like whatever the fucking pitch is, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. But also, I've seen bad Broncos teams have winning home records. It's hard to go to Mile High. It just is. So I don't think it's bad to be a little higher on those. I'm not trying to influence your picks, but I don't think it's a terrible call.
Listen, you don't have to influence me, baby. Yeah,
I know. I don't think the thing is they can only get better, right? Because they were laughably bad last year. They were laughably bad.
Yeah, listen.
Only get better.
By week 4, I was like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but they can only get better. It's just I didn't know, and none of us knew that Russell Wilson was a weird guy. That's just like what sort of came out during that whole transition. So I don't know if he can win over his teammates, if Sean Payton can get them playing.
Dangerous.
So do you guys think that
sandwich.
that the Raiders are going to be 6-11 just because of the division they play in, or do you think that they get worse?
Talk about a team that's going to be good for the first 3 months. Fucking Jimmy G, baby, before he goes down, he's going to be lighting up.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Injuries are going to take over for them. But yeah, it's a division. Like someone has to get the brunt of.
Correct. Someone has to be bad.
Yeah, someone has to be the 4 teams. So I just think it's going to be them. So
fair enough. Very succinct.
They're not going to be healthy enough. Once again, I love Josh Jacobs. I love Devontae Adams. I don't see it.
Michael and I are going to use our steel.
They have a bad defense too. It's a tough division to have a bad defense.
Before you let them know about that, DK. So just to be clear,
I didn't hear what you said.
Well, that was on purpose. So your final order is the Chiefs at 15-2, the Chargers at 10-7, the Broncos at 7-10, and the Raiders at 6-11.
That is correct. Yes,
correct. Great. So DK and I are going to elect to use our steal. And we're going to say that the Kansas City Chiefs will finish at 13-4.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Now, just so we're clear on the steal rules, if you guys are calling them 15 and we're calling them 13 wins, if they get 14 wins, we win.
We win. Yes.
Yeah, you said at the beginning. Yep.
Yeah, but I just want to reiterate it so when you guys are considering who you're going to steal, like that factors in because like
we actually already have ours, so we're ready to use ours if you want.
Yeah, fuck it, hit me.
Yeah, so we're going to use the Vikings. And we're going to say they're going to be, what do you think, Ray? 10-7?
Yep. Let's go.
10-7 sound good? I just don't see the drop off being as catastrophic as you guys do. If you're taking out, I know the Lions and Bears got better, but you guys already said it. You're taking out one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL and putting them in a completely separate conference. And this is a team that won 13 games last year. I think dropping all the way to 7 is a catastrophic drop off. I just don't see it.
I mean, it's
so
literally
we're gonna go Vikings 10-7.
It's literally the catastrophic drop off that happens to every inflated regular season team. But all right, like may the best man win. All right, the NFC West.
I mean, it's San Francisco's division.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close here, Mike. Right?
So I had San Fran at 12-5.
Yeah.
I had Seattle at 10-7.
Yeah.
The Rams at 7-10.
Yeah.
And then the Cardinals at 2-15.
Okay, right off the bat, I'm going to give you the Cardinals at 2-15. I had them at 3-14, but they're fucking terrible. And I mean,
they want to be terrible too.
Winning one game,
to be bad.
Yeah, winning one game isn't entirely out of the realm of possibility. To be totally honest with you, it looks like Kyler's just going to be on ice for at least 6 weeks, right? Because they didn't take up, so that means he has to be out for like the first 6, right?
And
like that's
not that he's the second coming of Christ or anything, but they also just released Colt McCoy, and the reason they did that is because he's 3-3 in his last 6 starts. They don't want to win games. They are in full on tank mode.
Yeah, I mean, as they should be. They were kind of fun to watch. The DeAndre Kyler connection for a second there. I don't think that they were ever. Nobody thought that they were ever going to like do anything.
They were like, remember that one? They were like 10-1 at one point, or like 10-0 going into Green Bay. I think 2 years ago, and it's just never.
I think we all knew that was a little inflated too, but I think I am a little higher on Kyler than the majority. I think of the NFL fan base. I know that people knock his height. I know that it's frustrating. I'm sure if you're a Cardinals fan to watch him like throw across his body outside the pocket a bunch. Donovan McNabb did that and used to complete passes, so I was there. But I mean, I don't know. I think that they're doing the right thing for the organization right now. Keep Kyler on ice, lose, go get some players, go get some picks, figure it out, start over. Because like once you lose DeAndre, that's what you got to do. So let's just chalk it up to that, right? I had 3-14, you had 2-15. Let's just go with you, 2-15. I could see it. The Rams, we both said 7-10, I believe, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I think makes sense. I think that they had like we talked about the Super Bowl hangover. The Baker Mayfield's thing, like all this whole mess of like things that have happened. Allen Robinson didn't work out there. He was pretty much washed by the time he showed up there, and he was supposed to be like their kind of big wide receiver. I don't think that they're that good. I think that there's still some guys from that Super Bowl team that are like decent personnel, and I think that I could see them win an 8 if on a really, really high year. I would, if you wanted to go down to 6-11, I could definitely justify it, but I'm okay to just say 7-10 if you are.
Yeah, I just you factor in the fact that Aaron Donald, Stafford, and Cooper Kupp missed a combined like 22 games last year. As long as they don't do that again this year, they're going to be better.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough though, right? Because Cooper Kupp literally gets the ball thrown in his direction on every single fucking play, and it's like that's not a great way to keep your wide receiver healthy. Like he's the only thing they have. So, and he's really good. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to draft him in that. He was like on the board in our fantasy board and like top 6, and I didn't want him for that reason because it's just like I don't see him lasting the whole season. But yeah, okay, that's fine. 7 wins.
All right, so Seahawks.
I'm a little higher on the Seahawks. I think that they've kind of gotten their act together. They still have DK Metcalf. Maybe I'm higher on Geno than you are. Is that where we're at? I know they're not going to have like a deep game. Like I know that they don't really match up on paper. I know that like Geno Smith and fucking DK Metcalf aren't like aren't like a match made in heaven stylistically, but they still have a lot of talented players. I think that they still have I think they have a top 3 coach. I think they have a top 3 worst places to go and play. I think they could win 11 games potentially. I think they could. Yeah. Okay. 10. Yeah. No, 10 makes sense.
So I don't think they're going to win 12.
No, I think you're right. They're definitely not going to win 13. So calling them 12 would be too much. Let's say 10-7. That means they could win 9 or they could win 11. I'll take it. And then lastly, but certainly not leastly, I'm a little lower on the 49ers just because of their reaction to that playoff loss. And I know it's not the hugest thing in the world, but like they were such fucking babies about how they fucking got knocked out. They were like, we're on a fucking. It's like, I don't think they're going to pull off the same sort of miracles that they pulled off personnel wise last year, where it's like you have like 5 injuries at one position and like everyone's still good. That was insane. I don't see that happening again. What do you think about them moving on from Trey Lance? Like 100%, he was the 3rd overall pick. Like, to make that call.
That was the worst trade up that they ever did, and that was probably the biggest bust.
If it were me, I want to keep him there, just in case. It wasn't like a one-off like crazy season.
You really got a lot of faith in Purdy to make that move, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Well, but also like nobody hates quarterbacks more than Kyle Shanahan.
Well, he loves running backs. I don't know if he hates quarterbacks. He loves running backs, and he makes 5 good running backs appear out of fucking nowhere every season. So, I mean, I think he's a top coach. I really do. I think he's one of the best coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
But underrated, criminally underrated coach, if you ask me. But
they added Javon Hargrave to that defense that was number 1 in the league last year. Like they're going to be. I think that obviously they're going to be top 5 defense.
Here's my worry about their defense. Because I drafted defense. I was the first person to draft defense in our fantasy league, and I took the Cowboys instead of the 49ers. Here's why. Consistency over a league season comes down to being good in every defensive position. I think that there's 2 types of defenses you can have. I think you can have a defense where you have a bunch of decent guys, and then you have like 3 or 4 game changers. And then you have a defense where you have 1 game changer, maybe 2, and then you have a bunch of really good guys. And I think the Cowboys are the latter and the 49ers are the former. I think that they have like more studs like across their defensive field. But I think that means any injury, any Bosa coming up on a ticker with the word weeks next to it is a fucking disaster for the 49ers, like a real disaster for them defensively. I think that they have I don't think that that'll happen. I think that those guys are historically like very durable and like I think they have like a good durable defense, but that's just my worry with them. So
let me just ask you, what's more likely, that they win 13 games or they win 10?
I think it's a fair question, and I think just because of their division, I think I'll go with it's more likely that they win 13 games than they win 10. So fine, let's go with 12 and 5. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, makes sense, gentlemen. Good picking. We have some housekeeping to do at the end here because we're going to call your steal. Did you steal? Yes.
Yeah,
they took the Vikings at 10-7.
And let's talk about our locks.
So that means if it's 9 or 11, we get it, correct?
Correct. Okay. But we're way lower on the Vikings, so you don't even have to worry about our record with them, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us your lock, guys.
Roll baller Alonzo Ball for Buzzballs. Ready to go cocktails. Take 12.
Buzzballs just dropped their biggest blue balls.
Script says Biggie's blue balls, Lonzo. Take 13.
Blue balls just dropped their biggest buzzballs.
Let's try a vocal exercise.
Buzzballs, Biggie's, blue balls, buzzballs, Biggie's, blue balls.
Big balls just dropped. Get blue balls this season with BuzzBall.
Please drink responsibly. BuzzBall's available in spirit, wine, and malt. 15% alcohol by volume. BuzzBalls LLC, Carrollton, Texas.
So, Ray, I'm going to pitch two to you. So I'm between the Chiefs and the Bengals. Chiefs at 15. I know it's very, very, very high. But again, I think that they are by far and away the best team in the league this year. I know they have the target on their back, but they've already proven to us that they can take that. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility because we saw the Eagles do it last year to get to that 15 point. And again, they only have to get to 14 in that division that they're in, where they're by far away the best team. The other one I'll pitch to you is the Bengals. Again, by far and away the best team in their division. And I think this is the Joe Burrow season. Yeah. We'll get to that more in a little bit. But I think this is the year Burrow. So those are my two pitches to you.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about it earlier too. I'm leaning towards Burrow. I mean, the only reason why now we said 15-2 because of how crazy Kansas City can get offensively, and they'll probably blow out most teams, but they may be resting people by week 16. So they may not get to that. So I'd lean towards Cincinnati in this case. And
you like Bengals? Lock it in, Bengals. 13.
All right. Cruel summer. Locking in the Bengals.
Who would have seen the day that we're locking in the Bengals at 13 goddamn wins?
Right.
I love it.
According Taylor Swift at that.
I think that we initially had talked about locking in the Eagles, Mike, but funny enough, I had a pitch to you that I was just about to make where I was looking at all you very graciously, and thank you for doing all the writing down of this stuff. Sent me all these records that we've locked in, and I just couldn't get my eyes off that Cardinals record. That is going to be the fucking lock, isn't it? It has to be, because they're telling us. They're telling us that that's a lock, So, and then Mike messaged me on the side. He was like, "Lock Cardinals," and I just had the thought. So the serendipity of it is so fucking beautiful that I think we have to. The Cardinals will be locked for the AFC team, and I think we should just get the points now, to be honest with you. But we'll wait. Okay, we have a few other things to do, guys. This was a lot of fun. Your orders are locked. Your records are locked. Your locks are locked. Call out a rival. We've taken the Kansas City Chiefs from you.
Hold on, time out. Did we lock the division yet?
What do you mean?
Like
no, that just happens if it happens.
Oh, that just okay.
Yeah. Because like the order's the order, right? Because their records are going to dictate the order. Sure. We called the Kansas City Chiefs as our rival lock. You guys called the Minnesota Vikings as your rival lock. Who is going to be your NFL MVP, gentlemen?
All right, Ray. So, do we go chalk, or do we go with what my second pitch was, man? You decide on this. So I said to Ray earlier, obviously the chalk pick here is Mahomes. It's an obvious pick that everyone's thinking that we should make. Everyone's thinking that we're probably gonna make. But I pitched Joe Burrow, man. I think this is the year of Burrow. Like I just said, I think this is Joe's year to show that he is on the same level of Mahomes. And if it's going to happen, it's going to be this year. After everything that happened last year where, he said that this is, Joe Burrow's house. He went into Arrowhead. He said it was Burrowhead. And then they lost. So I think he has a lot more to prove this year. So if I have it my way, I would say Joe Burrow as your NFL MVP. However, that depends on his health. So I don't know what his health is looking like going into the beginning of the season. Last I heard, he was going to play. So if that's different, correct me if I'm wrong here. But I think this is the year of Burrow.
Yeah,
he's healthy going into week 1, correct, guys?
This is Hill play part 2.0. Let's rock with him. I'm going with it. Tiger King, baby. Let's get it.
You're going with it, okay?
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his game. He's the only one that can dethrone 15, in my opinion, in all of football, not just in the AFC. So yeah,
the Mahomes pitch just isn't fun. It's like, okay, let's
I'm
Mahomes again for MVP. Like
Mahomes
that's
is still the best player in the league. Once again,
you don't. Just for the record, you don't get any points for making a more fun prediction. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, right. No, I'm saying, but it's the same thing like in other sports. Like we know, like Ohtani should win every year. We know that
LeBron should win, right? But like
what I'm saying, it's like Jordan should win every year. So it's just like, yeah, that's cool. But there's other deserving players that deserve that nod. So in this case here, it's not like we're picking fucking
Dak
Cousins to win MVP. we're picking Joe Burrow. Like this guy is a problem.
He's a dog.
So yeah,
Yeah.
nope. So
All right,
yeah,
Joe Burrow it is. We're in.
MVP baby.
All right, so I know that we don't get points for getting the most fun pick, but my pick for the NFL MVP this year is a man that vowed to be the first 4,000-yard passer in his team's history. And if he does that, he'll probably become the first NFL player to rush for 1,000 yards while throwing for 4,000, and that's Justin Fields.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Fuck yes. Yes, I was full on gonna make that pitch to you. I lock it in. Fucking lock it in. Absolutely lock it in. I had a whole thing prepared. And I didn't even have to talk you into it. I had a whole speech about his odds, about everything, about DJ Moore, and I don't even have to make the fucking speech. Lock that shit in. You don't get any more points for making a phone call, but guess what? You get him for making the correct call. And the best fucking player in the NFL, fucking Justin Fields. Fuck yeah, Mike. Great call. Love that. Oh, I don't even know what to do with myself now. What happens next? What's the rest of the show? When you said also rushing, I was like, yes. Oh my God. I am.
Oh,
My heart. Wow.
BK is a boner.
No, you'd be able to see it. So the fact of the matter is, you guys picked Joe Burrow. We picked Justin Fields. And it was probably going to be Patrick Mahomes, so no one's going to get that point. And yeah, we've called the MVP Rookie of the Year. We're going to go first on this one since you guys got MVP. If you're okay with that,
that's fine. Go ahead.
I would like the Atlanta Falcons running back.
That was my pitch.
Okay, great. We're done. Go ahead, guys.
That's all that's who I was going to pick.
That's why I wanted to go first.
Same. Because I know where me and Bobby talked about for defensive player of the year. So I'm
you know what? Fine. I got another one for you. He's replacing DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams in Detroit. That's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, Jahmyr, yep.
We're going Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit.
Nice.
He was 1.02 in everyone's dynasty football draft. So I feel like it's the only other pick we can make at this point.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Bijan's definitely the pick, though. That guy's a fucking beast.
He's so fucking good. I can't wait to watch him.
He's unbelievable.
All right, defensive player of the year. Your guys' turn. We went first on rookie of the year, so please feel
thank God
probably take Micah Parsons. I would imagine.
Yeah. This guy right here. Lock that shit in. He's already said he's moving more to the edge this year, which means that sack number is going to go way up. I'm predicting maybe 19 to 20 sacks for Micah this year. Micah Parsons, DPOY.
Also, Michael Strahan, Bruce Smith levels.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mike is going to be a beast this year. Just watch out. Quarterbacks need to beware.
It's probably I haven't looked at the odds, but I would imagine it probably is the lowest odds to bet on Parsons, Mike. But
or Bosa, I would say, right?
No, I'd probably say my pick is probably the next odds, and Mike, feel free to talk me out of it. But Myles Garrett.
I was gonna say that or Sauce Gardner. I just think that this is going to be a really big year for him. I think he showed how electric he was last year.
What year is he going into? How many years?
Year two.
His second year? Oh, that's tough, bro. Second year, sophomore slump.
Did Micah Parsons have a sophomore slump?
No. It happens to everybody, but it is like it is.
He's the real deal, though.
I feel like TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, like these are guys that I think are more likely before Sauce Gardner, to be honest. I feel like linebackers and edge rushers just have the edge on getting defensive player of the year because they have those impacts.
I also know that you don't, so my two picks are going to be, my two picks were Sauce Gardner and then Brian Burns from the Panthers, but you already kind of nixed me on the Panthers thing.
No, he's an edge rusher, right? Like he's pretty lethal.
He hit 12.5 sacks last year. He's 25, and I just think that team is going to be only way that team's going to do well is to excel on defense. So like that would be my two pitches, but I'm okay with whoever you pick.
All right, I mean, I'm okay with Brian Burns over Sauce Gardner. To be honest, I'm gonna eat my fucking words if Sauce Gardner wins Defensive Player of the Year. But I will just pitch this to you, just based on the Vegas book, if this makes any sense. Mike is at plus 600. Nobody's got good odds. Obviously, it's a tough call. Mike is at plus 600. He's the favorite. Myles Garrett is plus 750. TJ Watt's plus 850. Bosa's plus 1200, and then it's drop off after that. Brian Burns is plus 3000. So, because we're just getting a point, we're not getting like odds paid back. I would be more inclined to go with either Miles, TJ, or Nick, but I'd like to just take Myles Garrett because I think I gave you a lot of the records. I think I was pretty. I think I capped out on the record. So let's just Myles Garrett just based on the odds.
Speaker of the house stick right there.
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. We need to stop talking about my dick. That's the second mention of my dick on this show. I mean, I know you guys got it on the brain, but like, come on, I'm only one man. Okay. Wonderful.
Is that everyone? Is it everything?
It isn't.
No.
We have to call first coach fired. I don't think that there's any sort of huge likelihood here. I think there's like 3 or 4 good candidates, but you guys go ahead first if you're okay.
I got one. We already brought him up on the show once, and that's Dennis Allen of the New Orleans Saints. I think it was a surprise that he was even brought back this year, and I think it's very possible. For all the teams that have some kind of expectation going into this year, I could see the Saints bottoming out so fast. You know, Derek Carr has already proven that he can be weak when it comes down to the points where, you know, it's make or break. You know, last year with Oakland when he got benched, it was a whole thing, or Vegas, I guess now. It was a whole thing. And I just know he was already on the hot seat, and I could see them starting out, you know, 0-3, 0-4, and then all of a sudden it's the world's on fire in New Orleans, and Dennis Allen's going to be the guy to get the axe first. So that's my pitch.
You know what's funny about that though? Like I love his answer at the Pro Bowl. I don't know if you guys saw that clip where
I did see that. Yeah,
Ryan Clark was asking him about it, and he was throwing like 60 yards and on one of the little games that we're having. And, you know, he said something about staying hot, and he was just like, yeah, well, if I was that hot, you know, I still would have been in Vegas. And I was like, oh, like he's a little tougher than I think people think mentally. But yeah, I mean, I see the Saints take that team very seriously, the fans. So I could totally see them wanting their heads, Dennis Allen's head, if that's the case. A dark horse for me, I know we didn't do a dark horse, but a dark horse for me would actually be Robert Saleh and the Jets. If it goes south quickly,
Aaron Rodgers has a history of getting fucking good coaches fired.
Yeah, if that goes south quickly, you know, we can definitely get
That's
that.
A good call. That's a good call.
That Saleh's out of there. So, but like I said, but my partner said we're gonna go with what my partner said. We're gonna go with Dennis Allen, but dark horse is definitely Robert Saleh.
So who are you guys picking?
Dennis Allen.
Yeah, Dennis Allen.
Okay. Lock that in. Mike, you said Bulls to me, which I think is a pretty decent call considering it's the guy who presided over Tom Brady's worst ever career NFL season.
His only losing season.
His only losing season ever. I think that constitutes some fire under his ass coming into this next season. He's not in a great position. He no longer has Tom Brady. So that's
not that, you know, I'm here to talk you out of anything, but like if they didn't fire Bowles after last year coming into this year, why would they do it at this point?
Yeah, well, I guess I can
what would be the advantage of that? Is my actual
they needed a scapegoat coming into the season though. Like
that's true. I mean, yeah, good point.
You know,
they could also say that the reason that team was so bad last year is because of injuries, and but I think what became most apparent to me throughout that year was that there just wasn't any discipline. And that happened a lot under Arians.
That seemed to be what was frustrating Brady the most, is that like they weren't doing the things that he wanted to do, right? Which is like what the Patriots prided themselves on, was like, do your job, hit your route, like all that shit. And it's like, it just didn't look like that last year at all.
So if the discipline is still as bad as it was last year, and we predicted them to win like 5 games this year, I think it's going to be one of those situations where they could start out like 2-8. Right. And they rattle up a couple wins at late. So I also think that the NFL has a tendency to fire African American coaches faster than they'll fire.
You don't say.
Then they'll fire anybody
It's
else.
not like there's
So
any kind of record or track record to support that or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. What a bunch
know
of
it's a hot
fucking
take, but-
assholes. I wish I wasn't addicted to their drug. So yeah, that's a really good call. I'm happy to go with that. I'm gonna throw a couple of other names out at you just so we talked about it. My first coach fired would, if I were up to me and I was in charge of firing any coach in the first like 6 weeks, would be Josh McDaniels. I'd fire him today and try and get a new coach in there to coach. Only because he's like he's a myth. Like his ability to coach a football team is a myth. But go ahead.
if we think Jimmy G's going to be healthy for, let's just say 9 games, in their first 9, they're probably going to be like 7-2.
Yeah, but this is
So-
here's the thing. This is like the thing that Patriots fans have been like talking themselves into for the last decade is like the Jimmy G, Josh McDaniels connection and like what it's going to look like. But the fact of the matter is they have one of the best deep threats in the NFL on their team and the guy with the worst deep ball at starting quarterback on their team at the same time. So I just don't, you can be Josh McDaniels and you can be this offensive guru that you've like claimed to be over the years. I don't see it. I've never seen it. I don't understand it. I think he makes.
And as a play caller, he's fine. It's the head coach, he's terrible. But as a play caller, he's fine.
As a play caller, I guess he's fine. I mean, I think I've seen him I've seen him do that thing where he thinks that his mega mind is the thing that like is going to solve every problem that comes up. And I think that he overthinks situations. And I think that when you're the head coach, that's a little bit more apparent. And the holes in the ship become like a little bit easier to see. I think that there was things about his play calling that and this is just my opinion. And you've watched a lot more Patriots games than I have, a lot more closely than I have. But I think that there's things about his play calling that are boggled my fucking mind over the years, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, a day-to-day play caller, he's okay. This myth of like Jimmy G and Josh McDaniels and the check down fucking white guy offense that like they were always trying to run over the last 10 years. Like I don't see it. But maybe. But yeah, I still think probably Todd Bowles more likely just because like the NFL is racist as fuck. Ron Rivera is in a hot seat, who I think is actually a really good coach. And I really like him. I'm a little biased because he was in my organization for a long time and he was really good. But he's definitely in a hot seat. Stefanski and the Browns, pretty good. They're not gonna blame their new franchise quarterback before they blame their coach if things start going wrong. But I actually kind of think the Browns are gonna be a little bit better than everyone thinks. I think that they have like a little bit more of an offense than people are letting on. I think they have a really great edge rusher, which we just talked about, and I think they're gonna be okay. So I wouldn't say that. But since we've talked about it, I could really see Mike McCarthy getting fired. Kind of early in the season, to be totally honest with you. I could really
Play
fucking
caller.
see it. All that fucking play calling talk. Like, the only hard pitch I'm going to make to you, I'm happy to go with Bowles because I think that's probably correct. But I'll make a hard pitch of like, how funny would it be if McCarthy was the first coach fired and we were right? Like, how funny would that be? Like, we could just sacrifice that.
Sold.
All right, fuck it. With McCarthy.
I hate you guys.
Just like putting that point on the board. Sold.
That also contradicts the fact that we think that they're going to go 11-6.
Yeah, well, that's called a hedge, Mike. That's how you
Whatever.
hedge. That is how you hedge.
That's betting 101.
That is betting 101, my friend. Okay. The last thing to do is to call the coin toss for the Thursday night game to kick off the regular season. Graciously, even though I have an always coin toss call, I'm going to defer to you guys. Call it. Heads or tails?
Ray, we know the call here, right?
I would go heads.
Oh, you do? Oh, no.
That makes this so much better.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
Cut to a 20-minute conversation about like, if you flip a coin 6,000 times, 51% of the time.
Hang on.
I mean, but if you want to go tails never fails, then cool. But I would go heads.
No, we're gonna do this right now. Hang on.
This is great radio.
You want me to do the Susan B. Anthony coin? From back
We're
in the
going.
day?
I just did a Google coin toss simulator, and it came up tails. 2 in a row. Tails it is.
2 in a row. It's never going to be heads. That's just how
Tails.
probability works. Okay, you guys have tails. We have heads. We will be watching out for that in the start of the regular season. Don't forget to tune in to Missing the Point over the course of the season to track all these records as they go terribly off the fucking rails, to watch Mike McCarthy be the first head coach fired, and to see how many points we get towards the end of the regular season so we can go into high-stakes final Jeopardy.
Do you know
The
how
stakes
miserable the power ranking shows are going to be if Mike McCarthy is the first coach fired. Do you know how terrible this season would have to go if he's the first coach fired? Oh.
Yeah, miserable for you. We're going to have a great time.
Fun for everyone else.
But listen, it's been really fun. This has been the AFC NFC record prediction show at Missing the Point. Please feel free to track our numbers. Call us out on the socials for being dumb. Follow the MVP race and our predictions there. And definitely tune into the Power Ranking Show, which we will be bringing you every single week from the time that the NFL season kicks off until the playoffs. But for my teammate and Justin Fields aficionado and now new best friend, Mike Marcangelo, for the other team, whoever the fuck those guys are. No, Bob Kelly and Rayshawn Buchanan, Hollywood Ray. For those gents, for us, Tails does never fail. And I'm disappointed we didn't get that. But this has been Missing the Point.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night?
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
There's none. Nada. The reserves have gone dry. People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
They're all out of hand sanitizer at my Target.
Mark, when did you last watch the news?
We are getting reports of forced quarantines in China, Japan, and now Italy.
You're cutting onions in half and putting them around your apartment.
Yes, exactly. It kills the COVID.
Excuse me?
Let's go. Let's go. Get in.
Vamos, rápido.
Have you ever driven one of these?
Never.
I'll drive, ladies.
I've got the keys.
Excuse me, I'm lost. I'm looking for my wife. I got turned around.
Join me, Eric Roberts, Jennifer Elise Cox, and Ed Asner for The Last Saturday Night, an Electrocast podcast. You'll love it. Electrocast. Electrocast.